trying to figure out how much time we have to get our act together before we put things out.
I had hoped that by today we would have a decision from the appropriations chairs. So as soon as we do, and again, I hope that there'll be an email for me when I get back to my office, we can start to advertise. All the other pieces are in place. And I just would mention, too, there was a lot of discussion about where this would be. There was a lot of interest in having it in southern Maine. We've been lobbied very hard for that to happen. We felt it was very important to have this in a neutral place, which is why we thought of the State House. It's also a little more centrally located. So again, our emphasis is on fairness.
I think that from the time that I spent with the Natural Resources Committee, I'm not sure that the first two of these questions are
relevant.
What they expected us to answer. In other words, they don't really want this combined group to be setting water policy separate from examining the trade issue.
So I had indicated that it was really that third question that's the relevant one about the impact of international trade agreements on water extraction in the state. And that's what we're taking testimony on. We aren't taking testimony on anything else.
That should weed out a lot of people. It should.
Invite people to make comments on it. He is, you know, as he said, the more transparency, the more people that read it and choose to comment, the stronger it will be. So, Bob?
Just the way I read the law that put us here relative to this first point of ownership, property ownership of groundwater, it seemed to me to be asking whether a change in that ownership has an effect at all on these international, on how the international trade agreements play. So I think we shouldn't just ignore that. I think we want to be sure we're focused on that particular aspect.
And what about the second question? I mean, clearly, was that something else that
I think that may extend a bit farther beyond what the law. You know, I'm not a lawyer, but the way I read it, we were really looking at the two pieces: was ownership relative to international trade, and then just the whole aspect of how our current regulations play in this international trade arena.